And good afternoon. Hope you're well. So what is going on in Britain's schools? Look, I get it. Every generation has moaned about how discipline has been lost. Teachers are helpless. Kids are more trouble than ever. It wasn't like that in my day. That line will be used for the rest of time. That said, there are tangible changes to the way schools are run, and the bar of what is acceptable has demonstrably shifted. Let me bring you a few stories to illustrate what is going on. Earlier this week, we told you about the Michaela Community School, where the head teacher had banned prayers. She clearly felt it was divisive. It's a school, not a church or a mosque, and what's wrong with that? But this is the 21st century, the era of synthetic indignation, so naturally this led to some people absolutely losing their minds. As a consequence, one child, yes, a child, is taking legal action against the school. And to compound this bonkers decision, the legal case the kid is taking is being funded by legal aid. £100,000 of your money for a child to sue their school. Whatever happened to the very simple belief that it's up to the school and the head teacher to make decisions about what goes on within the confines of their system? Something has clearly broken down. The cogwheels of logic and common sense have stopped turning. Only today we hear the new head of Ofsted has said that behaviour at some schools is so bad that there are no-go areas for teachers, some of them locking themselves into classrooms for safety at lunchtime. Just let that settle. Teachers locking themselves away because they are scared of the pupils. How the heck did we arrive in this place? At the same time, we also hear that Ofsted is urging schools to pause inspections that could be damaging to the mental health of their staff. Now, this is part of a response after the death of one head teacher who took her own life after a negative Ofsted result. Clearly a tragic case, and no one would wish to say otherwise. But are we really unable to call out bad schools because some teachers might be upset about it? There are clearly hundreds of very good, even exceptional schools out there in this country, but the bad schools are growing in number and many are getting worse. And much of this is simply down to a lack of respect and discipline for authority, a touchy-feely approach from teachers to pupils, and a misplaced and dangerous belief that children's rights are immutable and never open to debate or question. And perhaps most fundamentally, a lack of support from parents who, in some cases, have clearly forgotten how to raise and educate their own children. Bad parenting is the root cause of all of this. Kids do have rights, but there is a hierarchy, and that's how a civilised society works. And if you don't teach your kids that, you've no right to call yourself a parent. Throw in a few social media videos teaching kids that being told off is akin to second-degree murder, and you have the perfect cocktail for an utter disaster in our schools. Meanwhile, another school is being accused of Islamophobia and might be forced to close over the head teacher's decision to ban kids from wearing pro-Palestinian badges. This all began after a TikTok video. It's a TikTok video alleging that an 8-year-old pupil was being bullied by teachers for being Palestinian. The video went viral. Charlie Brooker couldn't write this stuff. It's insane. But it may force the school to close because of escalating threats against staff. They're now talking about hiring private security. Welcome to the 21st century. I feel sorry for teachers, but I do sense that some of this is brought on by themselves. Kids are not meant to be your friends. You are not meant to be some kind of cool figurehead in their lives. Head teachers are meant to rule the roost and say what goes. And bad mums and dads should be called out. We hear very little on the government on these issues. A swift Google search today will show you that the only decision in recent weeks made about schools was to allow them to display the brand new portrait of the king in the building. I'm sure that's going to stop young scamps from kicking off, knowing that the beady eye of the monarch is looking down on them. This country needs to get a grip. Children's futures depend on it, and so does the rest of the country. It's in all of our interests. So with this in mind, we're asking this question this afternoon. What is your experience of a bad school? Whether you're a teacher at one of those schools or previously been a head teacher, whether you've been a pupil, maybe you're one of the inspectors. Whatever your relationship has been, either going there or observing it, what is your experience of a bad school? 0344 499 1000. Our lines are now open.